On your recovery journey, you probably say to yourself, if I don't think about the substance, I'm fine and I'm good. Well, I'm Gary, best-selling author, an ex-addict and an addiction therapist, and I'm going to tell you why that's wrong to think that way. In some ways, you're right, don't think about the substance, but in other ways, the truth is you actually should, and when you do think about it, you should think about it differently. If you think about it the same way, you're going to keep getting the same results. Now let's play a game, hypothetically. Imagine I had a client that came in the door with day one and they said, hey, I'm not going to go to the pub, I'm not going to drink alcohol, and that's going to stop me from using the substance Coke. My thoughts, I would agree with them. I think that will work. I think they'll be fine. I think that in 3 months' time, their goal is for 3 months. I think they will be sober for 3 months. But what happens after 3 months? Let's say they rock up after 3 months, the summer busy period is over, they say, hey, I'm going to go to the pub, I'm going to have a pint, I'm going to have a drink. What's going to happen? Well, you can almost predict with certainty that they will go back down the same road, the same patterns, the same people, the same conversations, the same texts, the same dealers. You can almost predict that. Why can you predict that? Because they didn't change anything about their mind. What does that mean? And how do we change it? Well, what that means is avoiding a place or avoiding the thinking isn't actually changing the thinking or the place. You might want to go for drinks in 3 months' time, but if you don't think about the substance Coke, you've got a big problem, for example. So let's play out, how do you change it then? Well, let's say again, you came into my door and you wanted to drink alcohol in the future, but you don't want to do Coke. Well, a lot of people say they're married, they're together, and I want to separate those in your mind. I don't want them to be together. I want it to go, people say it goes hand in hand with alcohol. I never want you to think that ever again. It never goes hand in hand. Why? Because it's poison. I want you to think it's poison. I want you to think that this substance will kill you if you use it. I want you to think this substance will give you a cardiac arrest or a stroke-induced, cocaine-induced stroke. All of those things that I've just said there, right now, they might just go over your head. And you might not care about them. Most people in active addiction don't care about those things. But you're probably on somewhere along the line where you do want, and you do care about those things. And that's good. You should actually write down the consequence of using it. You should genuinely think of the substance and how it impacts your life. You genuinely should look at documentaries. The chaos, the child slavery, child labor that goes on, the prisons, the cartel, the mafia, the killings, the assassinations, the way it's getting ingredients, what it's made of, how it's being shipped into the country in someone's you-know-what. Right? What it's getting diced up, mixed up with when it gets into the country. These are all very simple concepts that you can easily grasp onto, and you would when you're on your recovery journey. The point being that if you never thought about those things, it's still glorified, it's still romanticized, it's still fantasized in the back of your mind. Just thinking that it's bad isn't enough. You need to know why it's bad, how it's bad, what makes it bad, where is it bad, when is it bad. Going the extra mile with your Coke mindset or substance mindset, creating negative associations to where you never want to use this thing again. That is a solid idea. What's not a solid idea is, as long as I don't think about it, I'll be fine. As long as I think it's bad, it's fine. There's not enough depth. You need more depth. For example, if I had a conversation with someone that was an electrician, I know nothing about electrician or being an electrician. But if I was to have a conversation an hour long, I'm going to deepen my knowledge on that subject. If I was curious, of course. Now, after an hour, my knowledge might go back up to near baseline or near zero because I'm not going to remember everything. But I remember 1, 2, or 3 things. And if I remember those 1, 2, or 3 things, that's going to be useful in some way for my future because I was curious how to change a light, how to change a switch, how to change a socket. That knowledge I can use. But same with Coke. You might just think it's bad. It's not deep enough. Why is it bad? How is it impacting your family? When is it good? When is it bad? What documentaries are good? What documentaries are bad? What documentaries what books are good? What research is good? What persons, what people has it impacted? How does it impact them? What consequences is there? That's depth. That's change. So just thinking it's bad isn't enough of change. Not deep enough. I hope we've worked on getting a little bit deeper in your mind, the consequence of this substance. So don't avoid the substance. Actually go to the substance in your mind. Walk in that room of your substance and change it. Do it an hour a day, forever. You'll never use it. Do it for 30 minutes a week. It'll take a while to change, but it will change. Do it intentionally with someone like myself if you want to do that. Book a call in the description. But if that being said, get stuck into those documentaries. And if you want those, I've got a resource page that you can click out on my website. So that being said, I look forward to seeing you next episode. I appreciate you, and God bless.